Hey everyone, my name is Travis the Gamer, and I have a special video for you guys. And today I'm going to go ahead and play some older games I don't typically play. So let's dive right into one of the games I plan on playing today, because out of all the other games, I've had either some knowledge on it or I've actually played them before. But one that I have neither of will be Kung Fu. Do not be deterred by the fact that it says Kung Fu. Excuse me. I can guarantee you and rest assured that it's not Kung Fu, it's Kung Fu. But let's go ahead and jump into the game. By the looks of this picture right here, we got some dragons right here on the side. We got some bars there, like 5 squares. You see your player bar, your enemy bar, and your boss bar. Now, right off the bat, based off of that look alone, gives me the implication that they are taking this game, like they're taking that element from other games, like Mega Man. Mega Man definitely involved the player and boss bars, and that was to kind of show how many times you can get hit before you die, and vice versa to your opponents. The enemy one, I can't remember off the top of my head if it was ever implemented in any other game, but let's go ahead and hop into Kung Fu. Because it's not Kung Fu. Look at that. Got a U there, not an O. Keep that in mind. The more you know. So, right off the bat, those huge dragons we've seen on the side, I guess they shrunk a little bit. Now they're right there. I guess the people who ported this game over, because this doesn't come straight from the arcade, it's a port. And it's by Ironclaw. We can go always look up the information from Ironclaw right there, but let's go ahead and start the game. So I skipped most of that because if we watch the story, it's going to take forever and it will, chew up through the time. So right off the bat, we can see that we have a wide variety of enemies, and our basic controls stand as is. So what we have here, basically kick, punch, and boom. And something there that's kind of weird. Why do we have... Get out of here. Why do we have Mario blocks? Like, essentially, to me, that's Mario blocks. Okay. Nope, I'm not allowing these little midgets to get the best of me. Stop that. Got one enemy left. Where is he? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna punch you in the throat. How about that? But so far, this game gives me the I'm getting the Street Fighter vibe, because we do have our specialty bar right here at the bottom. So let's continue. I like how they incorporated some voice acting for this game for a game that existed in the 80s. That's kind of funny and weird, but it's funny. You have acquired a new special, Hadouken. That's not the exact way to say it, but Street Fighter. So stage 2, this is interesting. Stage 2 involves Mega Man. It's definitely a Mega Man level because, look, bam, Mega Man himself. And of course, Occupation Dr. Light's household robot. This looks like it might be a themed level. And as we can see, it's quite interesting because what they basically did was they took like the Asian aspect, Asian architecture, and they just basically put it over Mega Man's level. It's kind of funny. I'm just gonna, I could sit here and take total advantage of the fact that the enemies just keep coming over here. That's kind of funny. I mean, I can essentially defeat all the enemies. That right there, the death is definitely like Mortal Kombat-esque. There we go. Nope, kill you. Grab that. Ouch. Keep my stamina. You definitely have to keep that stam. I love that. There we go. Enough to get past the fire. There we go. One thing about these kind of games is that it's kind of spammy. You just gotta basically spam buttons. That's fighting games in general. A lot of them can have some, whatchamacallit, a lot of them can have like some variation of strategy, but in general, they don't really have strategy. Can I? No? So, I noticed that I didn't get harmed, like I didn't get hurt when I was on top of the character. But I clearly suck at this. I'm not like, well, I'm not really trying to fight, it seems. Because I do find the game like incredibly easy and stupid. But in a good way, not a bad way. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I'm going to go ahead and get back to the main menu so we don't have like all that noise in the back. So again, this is a website called free80sarcade.com. This again has so many different arcade games, and it's just not only the one I played. As you can see, they even have other games like Duck Hunt and Paperboy, Phoenix, which Phoenix, it basically looks like Galaga. Let's just get that out of the way. It looks like Galaga. Some of the other games you have here, 1942 and 43, those would have been too easy because dogfight games you can compare it to just about anything. Such as, oh, I don't know, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Battlefront 1, let me see, the EA version of Battlefront 1 and 2, and basically any war game that involves planes. But for my game, Kung Fu, or Kung Fu as this website names it, it gave me the Ninja Turtle-esque vibe, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Tournaments vibe, which is basically a tournament video game, and it's kind of like that, where you get different characters, but what's so different about it is that it sticks within its own universe. The types of games that would probably, actually, it would fit it a lot better, at least to talk about it, would be Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom is literally a fighting game where you get to pick different characters from different universes, and they all come together in a battle royale. Another game that's like that would be Sony's All-Star Battle Royale. That's literally picking characters from different games. Granted, they were all like PlayStation characters for the most part, but you get to play as different characters from different universes and you fight them. With, what was it? Super Smash Brothers, it's the same way. And what's really cool about that is like those are more modern games that would really kind of mirror this in a way. I can't say directly, but indirectly mirror that. There is a connection between all the games I mentioned and this one. With this game, it's pretty cool because if you look here at the picture, we have our nice backdrop, we have our background design, and it seems like each arena is themed. Each stage is themed based off of a game of some kind. And what's really cool about Sony's All-Star Battle Royale and Super Smash Bros. As a whole is that the series of games, well, the games in general, they all take place on a certain stage that belongs to a specific character. And you also fight the elements sometimes within those levels. Similar how we fought Mega Man, there were two enemies that belonged to Mega Man's world. And with the first stage, I'm not exactly sure what game that is, but with the first stage, you fought enemies that were from that game, I'm guessing. But the controls were very easy. They were very smooth for the most part. Actually, I can't say smooth. They were kind of clunky at some points, but it's pretty good. It's a nice experience overall. The player and boss ticks or boxes, that's definitely from Mega Man. Mega Man has been known to have that, and well, let me see. Other games have been known to have that marker, well, have the hit point system when it comes to fighting bosses. Usually your fighting games will have that. The The use of other people's moves, now that was pretty cool. When it said that I learned Hadouken, I don't know how to execute the specialties, as you see. I just knew the basic moves, so that was pretty cool. Something I didn't show you that I know is in the game because I played it already one time before is that it has a save system, but it doesn't save like how our modern games do. In fact, it goes by a password system, very similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tournaments, the Animaniacs, Real Monsters. Those were Super Nintendo games, mind you. They all utilize the password system, and I call it the password save system, the PSS. And the password save system was a method for the players. If they ever wanted to go back, all they would have to do is remember the letters, numbers, the combination of the two, and or the pictures, and or a combination of the three. Depends on the game. A lot of the times they would just execute pictures and numbers because that was the easiest thing to remember. And essentially that was your save state. For us now, we usually use either memory cards or, well, I remember memory cards, but flat out, now we just use an online save. But it's really cool to see this because, as you've seen in that game, I was able to jump, and when I kicked the person on the head, their head just flew off, and you just seen a little pool of blood. What's really cool about that is that is an element that I remember seeing in the Mortal Kombat series. The Mortal Kombat series was known, at least to me, to be one of the first games to implement blood. They say gore, and it was definitely the first rated M game, period. I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe, and I have strong confidence in saying that it was. It was one of the first games to be rated M and to implement blood, gore, and different types of deaths. It had some humor in there. I liked when I did a grunt shot, you just seen them like, oh, bend over and just stay there. And some of the things that kind of frustrated me were the smaller enemies. They pretty much just knew. I swear they knew. And they just started rolling sometimes by default. And it was only until you looked at them and ducked that they actually started like getting close and try to like, punch you or something or kick you. It's like when you know what they're going to do, they just freeze up and then decide to do something else. Whereas the other guys, they just came straight at you. And it was really cool to see the different types of enemies in a level. What I did notice is that if you don't keep on top of your enemies and defeating them, they can overcome you pretty quickly, and that is something that hack and slash games are known for. The Dynasty Warriors series, the Dynasty Warriors series. It's known to have lots of enemies, and it's also a fighting game that you pretty much go out there, beat up a bunch of enemies, and essentially hack and slash your way to victory. But the element that I've seen in here can be mirrored to that because if you have a lot of enemies, you can essentially get overrun and die pretty quickly, like in this game. But to recap everything, game is pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed it. I'll probably play more of it. It's Kung Fu, not Kung Fu, but this website, it's alright, I'll forgive it. It has elements that come from Mortal Kombat, and that is within its fighting mechanics. It has Street Fighter elements in it because you actually learn a move called Hadouken, and that's basically a rip from Ryu's Hadouken. And you have other games such as Mega Man in there, and I think that was really cool to see that you get to fight in their environment and get to fight some of the enemies and have some of the barriers that game had while fighting enemies constantly. It definitely kept you on your feet. That's something that I like. It doesn't just go away and then you get bored. It keeps you up to speed. But you only get 3 lives and it's time, so definitely worth a try. I recommend anyone who wants to play this or any of these games for that fact, go ahead and go on this website, free80sarcade.com. I'll provide a link in the description below. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video of whatever I decide to do. Until then, ta-ta for now.